Good day. Today we're going to test out this Sylvania headlight restoration kit. Now, I did do some research and this is one of the higher rated ones. I'm not going to say it's the best one. Definitely not the worst one out there. And again, I don't get paid for any of the stuff that I do. Just some add-on items before we get into the kit. Be handy to either have a garden hose or a spray bottle. I'm going to use a spray bottle here with some water in it. Some extra paper towels. It does come with a vinyl glove, but I have some of my own gloves which I prefer to use because they're way better. And I believe the only time you're going to need these, I'll tell you in a second. But anyways, what the kit comes with, basically, and the sequence of events. So basically, this has this surface activator. Now this is something you spray on. You're supposed to leave it on for 30 seconds on the light lens. And it just sort of loosens things up. And then rinse that off. Then the next step is you go in with this sandpaper that they provide. Now I've cut everything in half in this kit with the scissors, so I'm all set up for each headlight kind of thing. So anyways, you rinse it off and then you go in with this 400 grit and basically you rub it down in circular motion. They're saying it usually takes maybe 5 minutes. And then you rinse it off and then basically you go in sequence. The next one is it's a 1000 grit. It's actually this one. Same thing, circular motion, go around the lens, and then you get into the, rinse it off, and then get into this 2000 grit. Use water as you go along. You'll see it in the video, but I'm gonna just run the video at like a higher speed, so it's not like super boring and long. So after your lens is all sanded up, you go in again after. Well, they do have instructions, but they give you this polishing compound. So this is sort of after you've done all your sanding, you get into the polishing compound and you use these white cloths here. Same idea, probably going to take about 5 minutes. This just sort of gives it a nice fine surface in the end. And then the final step, you go back to the surface activator. So, you know, don't use it all up, because before you apply the UV block, which is when you should probably wear your gloves, because I don't know what this stuff is and probably not good for you. But before you use this, use your gloves. But anyways, you use this to do a final little cleaning, make sure it's nice and dry. And then these blue towels you use with the UV activator. Basically just fold this into a nice little surface. Just weten the edge with the activator and you just run it across the headlight. It'll all become clear once we get into it. But yeah, that's pretty much all we need to get started. So let's go. Oh, and now you don't have to do this. Apparently all the products, except with the exception of possibly that UV block stuff, nothing is supposed to hurt your paint in theory. Don't take my word for it, because I've never used it before. But I have a feeling you don't want to get that UV block on your paint. And so I just used some masking tape and just went around the edges. It's not to protect it from the chemicals. It's more for me when I'm sanding, because sure enough, I'd end up sanding my car paint or something silly. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's get set up and get going. Okay, so here's this activator. Supposed to give this a little spray down, let it sit for 30 seconds. We'll see what happens. I'm just curious. It doesn't say to do this, but what if you gave it a little light? Just super light. Go over it while it's damp like that. I don't see why not. Like very light. Just like giving it a little scrub. Why not? I always do things a little different. Alright. So that's been 30 seconds and we're just going to rinse this off. Yeah, I mean that took off some of the nasty stuff there. So and then let's get into this sanding here. This is the 400 grit and probably going to be like at least maybe 5 minutes, however long I think. So these headlights are actually like 20 years old on this car. So, yeah, I see there's some nicks in there. Looks like a rock hit it there. There's a little star crack in there, but okay, we just finished the 400. Let's go get the, what was it, 1000, yeah. Okay, and just so quickly you can see, this is the one I've only sanded it. I still have to put the polish on. There. And there. So, let's try some of the rubbing compound now. It's still a little bit hazy in here. I don't know. They say they will be a bit hazy, but yeah, just in there. These lights, though, they look like they have some internal issues also, so I'm not sure. But, well, let's keep going. Just dry this. And we'll apply some of the, well, they call it clarifying compound, but it's just a rubbing compound, and you don't probably need a lot. Put a dab on there. I have one of my little white pieces here. So it's just a little bit of an abrasive compound. We'll go ahead, we'll do this for 5 minutes. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I mean, I could probably spend a little more time on it, but yeah. Alright, well, let's rinse it off. Oh darn, I didn't even need to do that. We'll use a little bit of this spray. So I'm just going to use, since it's so cold out here and stuff, I am going to use some extra paper towel and make sure I have all the grime off. Alright folks, that looks really, I don't know, I guess it looks okay. It's dry anyway. So I just took my little blue cloth here, kind of folded it up like this. And so here's the, oh, I should wear my rubber glove. This is stuff that you probably don't want to get on yourself. Okay, and it shouldn't take much. And we just want to go, we'll get this damp, we'll go across, and just sort of do overlaps. Put it on nice and thick or whatever. Make sure it's covered nicely anyway. So I'm just running some along here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave well enough alone at this point. It does look pretty good. Not too happy up in this corner. I don't know if it shows on the camera, but again, I don't know. I think that might be on the inside. When I do the other lens, I'll spend a lot more time because I can't tell right in here. There's little spots, probably can't see them on camera, but they look like they're on the inside of the lens. So again, not perfect in here. The rest looks pretty good. I mean, comparatively speaking, if we go over to here. So, there, and there. I don't know. The main headlights looks pretty good, so. Okay, so the one on the left is the light that I did. It actually doesn't look as bright as the other one, and that's only because the light's actually getting out of the lens. Whereas the one over here, it kind of looks brighter right now, but that's because it's all cloudy. So all the light's, you know, reflecting inside of here. Now, it is cold out, and I won't touch the other lens because I just put the stuff on there. But I figured if I run the car for a little bit, I'll pull it into the garage because this heats up the lens here. These aren't LED lights, so it does warm up. But here's this one, and then go over here, it's this one. You still see some haze up on that top piece, but I don't know. When I do the other one, I'll let you know what happens. Okay, I finished up the other headlight here, and I put extra effort into this area that I thought was hazy. Well, it is hazy on the other side also. I did put extra effort in there, but there's still some haze on there. So this side doesn't get the sun as much for over the years that this vehicle's been parked. So it did come out a little bit clearer, but I think that I still believe that's behind the lens. I don't know. But anyways, the main headlights did turn out very well, or they look good. But yeah, well, they're 20 years old, so I mean, not going to be perfect. Anyways, I'm going to go do my truck now. We'll see how that turns out.